So on that Zoom with those guys, we just pivoted and literally made up out of thin air the story of Deadpool and Wolverine, which is actually what we ended up. Sometimes when you're just so full of and you go with it, you end up actually kind of hitting the bullseye.
Ryan Reynolds never expected a casual brainstorming session with his friend and co-star Hugh Jackman to spiral into legal chaos. Yet, here they were, on an urgent call with their legal teams, preparing a countersuit against Justin Baldoni for allegedly leaking the script of the next Deadpool movie. While Reynolds was no stranger to corporate disputes, especially after Disney's acquisition of Fox, this situation felt personal. The potential leak not only jeopardized the beloved antihero franchise, but also the camaraderie Reynolds and Jackman had built around their iconic roles. Rumors about Baldoni's connection to a Marvel project had circulated for months, dismissed at first as typical Hollywood gossip. However, when Baldoni began hinting online that he had access to Deadpool material, fan speculation exploded. Social media was flooded with questions about how the star of heartfelt dramas had ended up with exclusive details about the notoriously gritty and comedic franchise. Worse, whispers suggested Baldoni wasn't just holding on to the script, but actively leaking major plot points, threatening the film's carefully crafted secrecy. Hugh Jackman's involvement added another layer of tension. Fans had been thrilled by the idea of his return as Wolverine in Deadpool 3, teased in humorous promotional clips. But behind the lighthearted facade, Jackman shared Reynolds' dedication to preserving the irreverent, boundary-pushing tone that defined the franchise. Baldoni's alleged leaks, hinting at a more sanitized or inspirational take, clashed with their vision and fueled their resolve to protect the film's rebellious spirit. News of the countersuit broke as Disney was already grappling with how Deadpool would fit into the family-friendly Marvel Cinematic Universe. Even CEO Bob Iger acknowledged that the wisecracking anti-hero's raunchy, irreverent style might require a different approach under Disney's umbrella. Fans of the original films stressed that Deadpool's massive appeal stemmed from its over-the-top humor and violent comedy, elements that set it apart from other superhero fare. With a ballooning budget and potential Marvel crossovers on the horizon, the script leak and the subsequent countersuit escalated the stakes, signaling that Reynolds and Jackman believed Justin Baldoni's alleged actions had caused serious creative and financial damage. Legal experts noted the boldness of the countersuit, as such matters are typically resolved quietly. Reynolds and Jackman, however, seemed determined to make a statement. According to insiders, the two actors were frustrated by script details leaking online, sparking fan theories that distorted the movie's vision. The tightly guarded script had reportedly fallen into Baldoni's hands through questionable means, and the countersuit alleged that his public disclosures had undermined the film's integrity and future prospects. The revelation of the legal battle surprised fans, who were used to the playful rivalry between Reynolds and Jackman, often showcased through comedic videos and online banter.
So we hurt ourselves, and I didn't realize how much I was suffering. And so many men I know are suffering, but we can't ask for help. We can't talk about it, because if we talk about it, we're challenging the system that keeps us in the box.
Yeah.
And we're hurting ourselves. We're walking around miserable.
Watching them unite against a shared adversary added a dramatic twist to their dynamic. While some joked on social media that the countersuit might be a clever marketing ploy, official statements from their teams confirmed the seriousness of the situation. Reynolds and Jackman's goal was clear: to protect the irreverent, comedic formula that made Deadpool a global sensation. Justin Baldoni refused to back down, using his platforms to defend his actions. He claimed the so-called script exposure was a matter of creative transparency, hinting that the new direction could broaden Deadpool's emotional appeal. Known for championing heartfelt storytelling, Baldoni framed the leak as an act of passion for expanding the character's depth. However, this clashed with Reynolds and Jackman's belief that Deadpool's irreverent humor and boundary-pushing tone were untouchable pillars of the franchise. To them, Baldoni's actions weren't about creativity. They were an unwelcome intrusion into territory that wasn't his. At Disney, the leak and countersuit caused significant disruption. Executives scrambled to manage the fallout, debating whether Baldoni's involvement, if proven in court, would derail production or even jeopardize potential cameos. Some worried the countersuit could amplify leaked details, drawing more attention to them, while others argued that failing to act would set a dangerous precedent, suggesting such breaches were acceptable. Hugh Jackman's role in the conflict drew particular attention from longtime fans who had celebrated his return as Wolverine alongside Reynolds' Deadpool. The comedic possibilities of their dynamic promised to deliver a box office smash. Yet, rumors of the leaked script described scenes that shifted away from humor, focusing instead on emotional debates between the characters. While Marvel has successfully blended humor and depth in the past, fans were eager for the chaotic comedic rivalry that defined Deadpool and Wolverine's chemistry. According to the countersuit, Baldoni's actions risked upsetting this delicate balance, jeopardizing the very essence of what made the film so highly anticipated. Industry insiders compared the situation to past superhero controversies, but it was rare for two A-list stars to join forces in a countersuit over leaked scripts. Some legal analysts believed a victory for Reynolds and Jackman could set a precedent, discouraging future leaks across Hollywood. Others cautioned that the countersuit might inadvertently elevate Baldoni, painting him as an anti-hero with a visionary take on Deadpool. Meanwhile, marketing teams worried that the legal drama could overshadow the film itself, disrupting carefully planned promotional strategies and shifting attention to behind-the-scenes conflicts. Fans, however, saw potential for comedic gold. Given Reynolds' knack for turning real-life controversies into meta-jokes within the Deadpool franchise, speculation grew that the lawsuit might inspire future on-screen jabs. Could Deadpool and Wolverine mock their legal battle in a fourth wall-breaking scene? The idea seemed plausible, but for now, the creative team remained silent to avoid complicating the case. Despite the tense situation, the unity between Reynolds and Jackman drew admiration. Industry peers noted their unwavering defense of the franchise's irreverent comedic tone. Reynolds' fight for an R-rated Deadpool had once faced resistance at Fox, and now he and Jackman were battling a new threat: Baldoni's alleged interference.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan. And, and we're carefully considering other people that will be sued also. And some of
Ryan
them will
Reynolds?
come as a surprise. Ryan Reynolds, for sure.
Oh, wow.
The countersuit wasn't just about legalities. It was a stand to protect the raw humor and boundary-pushing spirit that turned Deadpool into a global sensation. Across the globe, international markets followed the unfolding drama with curiosity. While Deadpool's explicit humor had faced censorship in some regions, its global success was undeniable. Speculation grew that a more toned-down introspective version might gain broader international approval. However, this clashed with the countersuit's argument. Deadpool's appeal lay in its refusal to conform to sanitized norms. Reynolds and Jackman clearly believed that softening the franchise's comedic madness to appease global censors wasn't worth the risk, and they blamed Baldoni's leaks for adding to that threat. News outlets speculated on how the conflict might end. Would Baldoni settle quietly to avoid further legal complications, or would Disney, Reynolds, and Jackman face a lengthy court battle, potentially delaying production? Some insiders suggested a compromise, where Baldoni might retract or clarify his statements while leaving creative control firmly in the hands of Reynolds, Jackman, and Marvel. Questions about the film's tone, whether it would keep its zany humor or shift toward a more emotional narrative, remained unresolved. Yet the countersuit made one thing clear: Reynolds and Jackman were determined to protect their vision of these iconic characters. Through it all, fans remained optimistic about the comedic synergy between Deadpool and Wolverine. The franchise had faced controversies before, from rating debates to studio clashes, but never a legal battle over leaked scripts. The very fact that Reynolds and Jackman were united in a countersuit signaled their confidence in the story they wanted to tell. Their famed chemistry, both on and off screen, had now become the foundation of a shared fight to preserve the irreverent, chaotic magic that made Deadpool a global phenomenon. Fresh rumors about the production swirled daily. Some insiders claimed rewrites were happening at lightning speed to distance the final script from the leaked version, ensuring surprises for fans. Others suggested the countersuit had actually sharpened the creative vision, uniting the team around a stronger script. The irony wasn't lost on observers. Deadpool had always thrived on chaos, from its leaked test reel origins to its meteoric rise as a franchise. Ryan Reynolds, known for his humor online, kept his statements measured during the early days of the countersuit. He reassured fans with a simple promise: Deadpool would remain delightfully insane. Hugh Jackman, typically reserved, offered little commentary but made a sly nod to the situation at a red carpet event, joking that Wolverine wouldn't tolerate meddling. While brief, these remarks assured fans that both actors were fully committed to defending the franchise's irreverent identity. Speculation grew over whether the countersuit might eventually become part of the film's promotional strategy. Marvel and Disney had a history of turning controversies into marketing wins, and a resolution in favor of Reynolds and Jackman could be framed as a victory for creative integrity. However, if the lawsuit dragged on or ended inconclusively, it risked overshadowing the film itself, shifting attention from the comedic magic of Deadpool and Wolverine to behind-the-scenes drama.
And weirdly, 1 hour later, I had our pitch with Kevin Feige and all the Marvel people, and Sean and I were going to tell them that we're going to punt for a year or two and come back to this later when we all have like a clearer head and stuff. So on that Zoom with those guys, we just pivoted and literally made up out of thin air the story of Deadpool and Wolverine, which is actually what we ended up. Sometimes when you're just so full of and you go with it, you end up actually kind of hitting the bullseye.
Justin Baldoni's future with Marvel hung in uncertainty. If the countersuit succeeded, would he be excluded from cameos or future projects? Would Disney cut ties to avoid further controversy, or quietly keep options open, banking on his fresh take being valuable later? The unprecedented circumstances left insiders hesitant to predict the outcome. At the heart of the countersuit was a clear message. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were determined to protect the comedic chaos that made Deadpool and Wolverine global icons. Fans who once feared Disney might tone down Deadpool now faced a different concern, an outsider's influence threatening to reshape the franchise. The countersuit became a rallying cry, with Reynolds and Jackman uniting to preserve the irreverence, wisecracks, and meta-commentary that defined the character. Whether the case ended in a settlement or a protracted legal battle, it had already pushed Deadpool into uncharted territory. Fans could only hope Reynolds and Jackman would steer the project back on course, ensuring their dynamic partnership would deliver the outrageous humor and boundary-pushing action audiences loved. Perhaps one day, Deadpool would even break the fourth wall to mock the ordeal. For now, the countersuit stood as a bold declaration. The franchise's soul was worth defending, and these stars weren't backing down. All right, show's over. Hungry for more twists? You know where to find us. Keep that popcorn hot, we'll handle the drama. Want to catch the next showdown in real time? Hit subscribe and buckle up.